guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So I do apologize if it is echoey in here. It is my new studio. We are in my new house and I do not know how the sound quality is going to sound yet because this is a smaller room, but I don't have a lot of furniture in it yet. So I might need to get a rug. I might need to get some things to make it sound a little bit less echoey. I did close my door because I am in my basement of my house and my furnace room is pretty close and I have an AC unit and it's running and I don't want you guys to hear that in the background. But I'm just hit my light. I also don't know if the room is gonna be too echoey. So bear with me while I figure out the sound quality in my new house because I don't know, this is my first video in my new space. Let's see if we can fix it in the next couple of videos, but I mean, I don't know, I think I might just need to get a rug or something because my floors are like hardwood. So anyway, I am back. Thank you so much to everybody for being so patient with me. I know I have been gone for literally like 3 weeks and that was not intentional, but we did move. We just got into our house and we had to move and pack and set up and it took a long time. So that is why I have been gone for so long, but now I am back. My studio is set up and hopefully I can post as many videos as possible in the next couple of weeks because I have been gone for way too long. So I did this look up on my stories and up on my TikTok if you guys are interested in following along with this makeup look and the creepy story that goes along with it from Heidi Wong. And let's jump into these spooky stories. So I have a bunch of stories here saved just from Reddit and I'm just gonna jump into them because I've been rambling for like 2 minutes. So this is from the paranormal encounter section. It is from the Reddit author Lord_of_Valor, and it's titled, I heard a voice calling my name outside my bedroom at 11 p.m. So this just happened last night, and I'm not really sure if it's paranormal, but it's still really creepy. So my room was up against the front side of my house on the 2nd story, and there was a window facing the front yard, right next to my bed. I'm sitting there reading a book with my lamp on when I start hearing my name from outside. At first, it was very quiet, and it was almost like I couldn't hear it, and if I didn't pay attention to it, I didn't really hear it. But then, it got louder and louder. I was really confused because it sounded like my old neighbor, who just moved out, but visited the same day. I was confused because he had visited my house that day, and he had already left to go back to his house in another town, and it was really late at night for him to be calling my name from outside of my house. I could tell from the tone of voice, though, that whoever it was, they were trying very hard to get someone's attention. But right when I paid it attention, the voice, and thought of all of this, it stopped. And I realized that my shadow was being projected onto the wall because of my lamp. I looked out the window and I didn't see anyone there, but I heard as if someone was opening and closing the downstairs window on that exact same side. I went downstairs and I checked with my sister, who was watching TV, and I asked them if they heard anyone calling my name. To both, they said no. And then I went to my parents' room to ask them about it. Both of them had been asleep and heard nothing. I just went back to sleep at that point and nothing else happened. The thing is though, this isn't the first time I've heard voices at that window. Years ago when my house was severely haunted, I was opening the blinds in the morning and I heard a woman whisper right in my ear, "Good night." I could even feel the breath on my ear. I smiled because I thought it was my mom messing with me and saying goodnight when it was morning. I turned around with a smile and my smile immediately vanished from my face because there was no one in my room. Everyone else was either across the hall or downstairs completely. Plus, I didn't hear anyone come or leave my room. Any ideas what this could be? Ooh, that's really creepy. I would be very interested in hearing more of your stories because you said that your house was severely haunted in the past. So if you have any more stories that you would like to share with us, please feel free to message me because I would love to read more of your stories. The next one is from if my phone will load, it is from the Spoopy Cjades section. It is from the Reddit author Stormy the Lost, and it's titled Scary Stories from My Haunted House. Let me first start off by telling you that I've been a magnet for the paranormal pretty much my entire life. I have several stories I'd love to tell you about from this house. So let's start out with the very creepy one. One that made me realize I was truly not alone in this house. On this particular day, my family had gone out to dinner and I was left home by myself. So I decided that I would spend my time meditating and keeping my mind off of things while I had the chance. I was sitting on the couch with my sunroom to the left, which had a view of the front yard where the blinds were open and the TV was in front of me and there was a closet behind me. I was sitting on the couch after I had just finished meditating and I heard whispering behind me. Knowing I had turned the TV off and no one was home, I quickly realized I was not alone. Suddenly, I had the urge to look to the left towards the sunroom, which had the curtains cracked open, so I had a view of my front yard. As I looked, I saw a solid black shadow figure the size of a child walk by very slowly for what seemed like an eternity. As I was watching the shadow figure walk by slowly, it vanished. And then the remote in front of me flew off my table. Story number 2. My parents were outside putting up decorations for Christmas. My mom was trying to set up a projector for the window so it looked like Santa was in the window. And at this time, my grandma lived with us and she was in her room. Everyone but me was outside and my grandma was in her room. I was in the kitchen cutting up potatoes for dinner when all of a sudden, a woman, who I assumed was my mom, walked by. I spoke to her and she didn't respond. Being more annoyed than anything, I just went back to cutting the potatoes. She was walking towards my grandmother's room and I just figured my mom went to go talk to her. Not even 2 seconds later, my mom bangs on the window trying to scare me on the opposite side of the house. When my mom came in, I said, "Did you just go talk to Mimi?" which is what we call our grandmother. And she said, "No, she was outside with everyone else the entire time." I still have no idea who that woman is. Story number 3. My room has a sliding glass door that leads out to my garage. I was asleep in my bed, sound asleep, really out of it, when I woke up to a super loud bang on my sliding glass door. The banging was so loud that I thought it was going to break the glass. I looked at my phone and it was exactly 3:30 in the morning. I went to go see if anyone was there and no one was. So it took me a while, but I went back to sleep. And when I did, I woke up to someone playing with my hair. I have a ton more stories I can tell if anyone's interested. Thanks for listening. Oh my God, I would definitely be interested in reading more of your stories. That is really freaking creepy. I don't like the idea of somebody like touching you in your sleep. Like playing with your hair is just like a whole other level of creepy that I never want to experience. Like, fuck that. That is so creepy. Oh my God. Thank you so much for letting me read those, but oh my God, I hate that so much. No, thank you. The next story is from the True Scary Story section. It is from the Reddit author straight-regular-864, and it's titled Something I Have Never Shared Before. I've always thought people would think that I was crazy. At the time, I was 22, and I've always had sleep paralysis growing up. Weeks on end of it every night until I moved in with my now husband, and it completely stopped. Back then, my mom asked me to spend a weekend at home. I was hesitant because I always associated my house with sleep paralysis, and I hated it. But I agreed to go. I remember it like it was yesterday. I decided to sleep in my sister's room because I always felt a little safer there, but this night, she was out of town. The day went by normal, and around 10 p.m., I decided to hit the hay. What felt like only minutes, I heard chains dragging around the back of the house. My sister's room takes up the left side of our house, so you can hear noises from the back and the front with the 2 large windows. This made me instantly freeze. I don't know why I froze like this, but my heart felt like it was beating in my head. Breathing very heavily, the chains sounded like they were getting closer as I tried to steady my breath. My dogs were quiet though, and that never happens. I couldn't hear anything but chains. Then the sound stopped right in front of the window my bed is close to, and I could hear heavy breathing as though a cow or a horse was breathing right in my ear. I looked at the window and I felt like someone was probing me to open the curtain. But my brain created an image and wanted me to confirm what the image was, like it was fighting my subconscious or something. After what felt like hours, I suddenly heard water being splashed against my body, like when you shower with a bucket. Again, something kept telling me to go check to see if there was water. My body kept fighting itself, and I finally had the courage to move, and I put my blanket over my head to check my phone. It was 3:30 in the morning. I don't know what it was, but it felt like I waited till 4 a.m. and it would just be gone. At least that's what I kept telling myself. In an instant, the water stopped. The breathing felt like it was getting distance, but that was just wishful thinking. I started hearing hooves and chains above me walking on the roof in circles by my window. I checked the time and it was now 4 a.m. Honestly, I was crying from fear. Although it wasn't my first, it was definitely the scariest encounter I ever had. Sorry, my writing skills aren't the best. Thank you to whoever reads this. That's really creepy. I don't like sleep paralysis. I've only experienced it once and it was absolutely horrifying. So no thank you. That's terrifying. The next story is from the True Scary Story section. It is from the Reddit author My Random Ass, and it's titled, I Almost Got Kidnapped by a Cult. My earliest memory of us from when I was 3 or 4, I was walking alone in the barn we had on my parents' property, which had woods off to one side that was really dense and covered 6 of the 8 acres. I was walking along the earth when I heard this scraping sound, so I looked over at the tree line to see 3 white hooded figures staring at me through these golden masks, and one of them beckoned me. I started to walk towards them when my mother called me from the porch, but I had this urge to just keep walking. My dad then came and scooped me up and brought me back inside. A few weeks later, a little girl went missing and was never seen again. It still haunts me. If my dad hadn't been there, that could have been me. And that was their entire story. That is really freaking creepy. I don't know what you saw or what that could have been. The little girl vanishing could have just been a coincidence, but you never know. There's some really weird people out there. The last story that I'm going to read is from the True Scary Story section again, and it's from the Reddit author technical_maze_3241, and it's titled Unexplainable Encounter. This just happened to me last week, and I'm still a little shaken up. I work as a warehouse manager for a construction company in the Bay Area. We recently got news that we were shutting down, so they were having us clean it out. And one of the back rooms holds our tools and belongings of our former manager. She passed away a few years ago, and they stored all of her stuff in the warehouse. There were boxes of clothes, shoes, files, and old china sets. The china sets were very nice and somewhat old, so I asked them if I could take them to sell them, and my manager gave me the go-ahead. I was loading the boxes into the back of my car. At this point, I started to feel anxious, and I kept hearing banging sounds. I started to head back inside to grab the last one, when all of a sudden, I smelled the strong scent of smoke deep in my nose to the point it was all I could smell. I turned around and the third box I had just put in seconds ago was completely burnt. My heart instantly sank at the bottom of my stomach, and I felt as though I was being watched. I put it all back where I got it from and left immediately. I think something is attached to that china, and I don't want anything to do with it. And that's their entire story. So that is a very good idea to put that back, because clearly something was letting you know that that belongs to them. Don't touch it. Don't move it. You don't want that in your house. You do not want that in your house. Holy crap. So this is where I'm going to end the video. I know this is a shorter video than I usually do, but this is my first video back and I really want to post this right away, and I need to get more stories from you guys. Also need to get more stories from Reddit. So if you guys have any creepy stories that you want to share with me, please feel free to reach out over my email or over Instagram. I will be checking my email shortly here to get some of those stories, because I do have a few saved from you guys, but I really don't have that many stories anymore. So if you guys would like me to read your guys' stories on the channel, please feel free to send me a DM or an email, and I would love to read your guys' personalized creepy stories. If you made it to the end of the video, leave me your favorite green emoji, because I'm wearing a green shirt and a green wig, and this is my favorite color of green, in case anybody was wondering. I love forest green, dark greens, emeralds, all of those things I absolutely love, and I'm going to paint this room a shade of green. So I have a white backdrop behind me with my purple lights pointed to it, but the rest of the room is fucking banana yellow. I am not even kidding. Whoever lived here prior to me painted this room fucking yellow. I hate it. Like, I'm not kidding. It's yellow. It's fucking yellow. Like yellow. Gross. I hate the color yellow. No, thank you. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys did make it to the end, please leave me your favorite green emoji, like I said. Please feel free to like this video. It really does help me boost my video in the algorithm, because YouTube doesn't like to promote me anymore for some reason. So please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys aren't already subscribed to my little spooky family, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye.